Hello and welcome to the LogicBridge Academy. Today, we will be solving some selected past JAMB questions on polynomials. Stay with me. So the first question says, find the value of p for which the equation x squared minus p minus 2x plus 2p plus 1 equals 0 has equal roots. These are the options. Now, solution. Remember the conditions for equal roots. For a quadratic equation to have equal roots, b squared must be equals to 4ac. This is the condition where b squared is equals to the coefficient of x, which is in this case this, a equals to coefficient of x squared, which is 1 here, and then c is equals to our constant. So we can have our a to be equals to 1 as the coefficient of x squared. Our b in this case is coefficient of x, which is what? P minus 2. And then our c is constant, which is equals to 2p plus 1. So now substituting our equations, b squared equals to 4ac. Our b is p minus 2. So we can simply say p minus 2 all square is equals to 4 multiplied by 1 multiplied by c, which is 2p plus 1. So now we are going to expand this bracket. So we have p minus 2, right, is equals to 4 into bracket 2p plus 1. So p times p, we have p squared, right? P times minus 2, we have minus 2p. 2p minus p, we have 2 minus 2p. 2 times 2, we have, or let me say minus 2 times minus 2, we have plus 4 is equals to 4 times 2p, I think we have 8p, right? And then 4 times 1, we have plus 4. So here we can simply have p squared minus 2p minus 2p minus 4p, right? Then plus 4 is equals to 8p plus 4. Now, collecting like times. Well, let's bring all of them to one side because it's a quadratic equation. So we can simply have p squared minus 4p, which is this. Since this is p, I can bring it back to this way. This is positive, so we'll have minus 8p. This is plus 4 already. We have plus 4. This is plus 4. When we bring it here, it will be minus 4 is equals to 0. So here we'll have p squared minus 4p minus 8p. Minus 4 minus 8, that's minus 12p, right? Plus 4 minus 4, 0. So we have is equals to 0. So p here, I think we can factor p out, right? So we'll be left with p minus 12 is equals to 0. So therefore, we have either p to be equals to 0 or p minus 12 to be equals to 0. So our p will be equals to 0 or p minus 12 is equals to 0. So if p minus 12 is equals to 0, we are going to have p to be equals to 12. So we have p equals to 0 or 12. So 12 or 0, 0 or 12, anyone. So our solution is 12, 0 or 0, 12. So now let's go back to our solution. So you can see 0, 12, 0 and 12. 0, 12 is our answer. So the next question says divide 2x cubed plus 11x squared plus 17x plus 6 by 2x plus 1. These are the available options A, B, C, and D. So now, solution. Now let's go back to our secondary school division method. We are dividing this by this. So we are dividing 2x cubed plus 11x plus 17x plus 6. You remember our primary school method, 2x plus 1. So we are dividing this by 2x plus 1. So in this case, we are going to take the first element of the dividend and the first element of the divisor. So we're going to have 2x cubed all over 2x. 2x cubed by 2x, right? So 2 we cancel 2. X cubed all over x, 1 we cancel 1. So we'll have x squared, right? So here we have our x squared. Then we now have x squared times 2x, which is 2x cubed. And then x squared times 1, which is plus x squared, right? Then what is the next step? Subtract. So subtraction, upon subtraction, we have 2x cubed minus 2x cubed, 0, right? 11x, sorry, this has a square. So 11x squared minus x squared, so we will have what? 10x squared. Then the next thing, we have to bring this down and bring this down. So we have plus 17x and then plus 6. Now the next thing is to repeat the same method, 10x squared divided by 2x. So we'll have 10x squared all over 2x. 10 divided by 2, we have 5. And then x will cancel the square. So we'll be left with 5x, right? So here we will have plus 5x. Then this 5x will now multiply by this. So we have 5x times 10x. Sorry, 5x times 2x. We will have 10x squared. 5x times 1, we will have plus 5x. Another subtraction. So we'll have 10x squared minus 10x squared, 0, right? Then 17x minus 5x. 17 minus 5, 12, right? So we'll have 12x. Then what next? We bring this down. So we'll have plus 6. The next stage is to repeat the division again. So here we have 12x divided by 2x. So we'll have 12x all over 2x. X cancel x. 12 divided by 2. We have 6, right? So here we have 6. So therefore, here we'll have plus 6. Plus 6 times 2x. We have 12x. Then plus 6 times 1. We have plus 6. Subtraction. 12x minus 12x, 0. 6 minus 6, 0. So therefore, our answer is x squared plus 5x plus 6. Now let's go back to our option. X squared plus 5x plus 6. X squared plus 5x plus, so 2x squared. So the answer is x squared plus 5x plus 6.